Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video here on my channel. I'm back with another video about Pakistan, and today I'm going to answer a few questions I was receiving since I uploaded my latest travel vlogs about Pakistan. Today I'm gonna answer your questions about transportation in Pakistan, connection in Pakistan, food and safety, and a few common things. Well, actually it's the same. Like, before you are traveling to a foreign country, you should start reading about the country itself. You should start reading about the ethics, the morals, about the society's habits over there to adapt easily. Pakistani society is very different. For example, in some regions of Pakistan, especially in KPK, men tend not to shake your hand. You could understand this wrong as a woman or as a foreigner, but that's just out of respect, because they are respecting you as a woman and they don't want to bother you, or they're afraid they would overtake your space, and I think it's also due to respect to their own wives and family. It's more like a religious thing as well. At first for me it was kind of different to face this, because here in Germany we shake hands or we even hug other people, man or woman, doesn't matter. So I had to get used to this behavior at first, and mostly or often I didn't even know whose hand I can shake or not. So I just tend to not to shake hands in whole Pakistan, over whole Pakistan, except I saw that the other side is giving me their hand first, so that was okay. The food. Okay, let's talk about the food in Pakistan. I know most of the foreigners, even myself, I was very afraid that I would get food poisoning. Sadly, I got food poisoning in a 5-star hotel from yogurt. From having yogurt in a 5-star hotel. It can happen everywhere. I tried a lot of street foods. Nothing happened to me, since I was actually very picky with the street food as well. If I checked the stall and I just had a weird feeling like, this doesn't look clean, then I just didn't have food over there. So yeah, I think you just have to check in advance how the stall is looking like, and then you can just see if you are going to have food poisoning or not. So you just have to check in advance and have to trust your gut feeling, kinda, and I think it's kinda luck as well. Yeah, and you have to be prepared for spicy food. Not really chili spicy food. You can also find a food which is not hot if it comes to chilies, but it's very spicy, and Pakistanis tend to have spicy sweet dishes, which was very weird for me from the beginning, like fruit chaat. It's actually fruit salad with masala, and that was kind of weird to me. I can't eat that, to be honest. It's like sweet, sour, and kind of bitter and very spicy. To people who can't have spicy food, I would recommend to go to Pashtun restaurants, because the Pashtuns, they are cooking with less spice. They are mostly using salt, pepper, and that's it. So there is something for everyone. If you want it really spicy, chili spicy, not spicy, you can find everything everywhere. The language. So a lot of people are always asking me, since you've been to Pakistan so often, you should be speaking Urdu as well. And I was like, mujhe Urdu thoda aati. That means I just speak a little bit of Urdu, but actually I almost don't speak any Urdu. I just knew the basic phrases and I can understand a few things, but I can't speak it, unfortunately. Since it's super easy over there to get along and go around and travel around with using English, because everyone's speaking English over there. Yeah, so it's easy, don't worry about that. But it's always good if you learn a few phrases, since you want to show some respect to their culture, to this country you are traveling through to, and people are so happy and welcoming if you just start speaking in Urdu to them. It's like you're just making their whole day. It's so beautiful to see them smiling and this kind of happy. So my advice, just learn a few phrases and okay, one of the problems I was facing over there in Pakistan was that my German debit card wasn't working in any ATM. I had a huge problem with that, so check in advance if your debit card or your credit card is valid in Pakistan, because that was such a huge problem for me in the beginning, and I had to borrow a card by friends, and I was transferring my money onto their accounts just so I can use a bank or a ATM. So yeah, just check that ahead before you are planning to go to Pakistan. Just give your bank a call and ask, hey, is my card even working over there or not? I think Visa card, MasterCards would be working. I'm not sure about American Express or any other cards, but the usual common credit cards, they are working over there. And in Pakistan, I always prefer to have and carry cash with me, because I tend to use more cash over there. Here in Germany, for example, I'm usually leaving the house without having any cash, but that's not a good idea over there in Pakistan. You should make sure to carry enough cash with you always. Just let's get to the question, how much cash you should carry with you in general. Well, I can tell you this actually, since it depends on the things you want to do, but I was carrying around 7,000 rupees always with me. 7,000 rupees are around 35 euros. Just in case, because I never knew where I want to eat. Sometimes you just want to eat at restaurants and it will get a little much more expensive, or you just see a beautiful thing which you want to buy. Obviously you can use your credit card, but let's come back to the 7,000 rupees. If you're using a lot of transportation like Uber, Careem or InDriver, then you should carry not a lot of money with you, but then you should definitely carry a specific amount of cash with you, because you can't pay with your card obviously in the car, or if you're using rickshaws or anything else. So yeah, as I said, 7,000 rupees at least were always in my pocket. Talking about transportation, I missed public transportation in Pakistan. Seriously, the only place where you have proper public transportation is in Islamabad actually, where you have this one bus lane, but even that bus lane, it's only going this one route and nothing more. So actually you have to use car services like Uber, Careem or InDriver, or you just use a taxi. In Islamabad you can find a lot of taxis, since rickshaws are not allowed there, or in other cities all around Pakistan you can just use rickshaws, which is actually pretty fun. I can recommend to use chingchis. My pronunciation is very bad, my spelling. Chingchis. I can recommend chingchis because they're much more fun than rickshaws. Rickshaws are completely closed all around, and you're just driving and you're just looking into the front. If you use a chingchi, if you take a chingchi, then you just look into the back whilst driving, and that's so much fun. You can actually just watch the traffic which you're leaving behind. It's so cool, especially for a foreigner, because you can see what's happening all around. And before using a chingchi or a rickshaw, I would recommend to all foreigners just to ask a local, not the drivers, but the local, how much the ride would cost. Because most of the times the people are just telling you some very crazy high prices and you're like, yeah, just take me there. But yeah, just ask the locals ahead so you don't get fooled. And also, People mostly don't know about the places, especially rickshaw drivers. If you ask them for a specific place, they can take you there. Never have I experienced that my rickshaw driver understood where I wanted to go to. So I just opened Google Maps and I just showed him, take me here, tell me how much you want, let's go. And other than that, cash. Rickshaw drivers only cash, of course. Yeah, obviously. Talking about Google Maps, it's very, very important actually to get a SIM card if you're traveling to Pakistan. Because yeah, we all know internet connects, you can just Google up things, you can look for words in a dictionary, you can just Google for places and everything else. Just make sure you get a SIM card if you come to Pakistan. There are a lot of franchises of telecommunication services, but the important thing is you have to go to the headquarters, not to the franchises, because the headquarters are the only ones who can give you the SIM card, because you are applying for a SIM card with your foreign passport. They need your passport, and the franchises, they can give it to you. So don't waste your time to looking for franchises, directly go to the headquarters. You can also get a device, it's like a hub. How do you call it? It's an internet hub. Yeah, you can just load a package on this as well, and then you can just share your hotspot on your phone. You don't need a SIM card for that. So it's actually up to you if you want to have a Pakistani number and a SIM card, or you just get those little devices. So actually here you can see my device. I just got this little device, my Wi-Fi hotspot hub. And it's a lifesaver because my phone got PTA blocked and I didn't want to pay 450 euros to get it unblocked. Yeah, that was too high. The taxes and fees were too high, so I just got this as a solution. You can get this in the headquarters as well. You have to register with your passport as well, and then you can just load a package onto it. Okay, let's come to safety. As you know, mostly I was traveling alone. Sometimes I was traveling around with friends, but there were a few times or a lot of times where I was traveling all alone in Pakistan. And honestly, I've never felt like something would or could happen to me. Even though I was traveling through dark streets in Karachi and everyone was telling me, oh, you should take always someone with you and you should always avoid those dark and lonely streets. But even back then, I didn't feel like something could happen to me. I don't know why. Oh, that's actually pretty weird, but yeah, thankfully nothing happened to me. But I have a few friends, Pakistanis, which got robbed on gunpoint. I mean, it's a normal thing over there. It's a third world country. With the inflation right now, the situation is changing. The circumstances are not good over there, and thankfully nothing happened to me. So yeah, I don't actually know what to say or what to think about security and safety for foreigners over there, since I never experienced something bad. But yeah, sure, as a foreign lady who doesn't even speak the language, to travel all alone through the streets and walk around, it might have been a little stupid, maybe, yes, I have to confess that, but I did that because I didn't feel like it's unsafe for me. That's what I mean. I kind of feel very safe in this country. Obviously there are streets or places where I didn't feel safe and I felt like, yeah, okay, I should avoid this street, or I should avoid going to this place and avoid talking to those kind of people and interact with them. What I can say is just trust your gut feelings. That's the most important thing. Just trust your gut feeling and your intuition, and always be online or carry a mobile phone with you. Well, there's something I forgot to talk about. It's the staring in Pakistan. A lot of people watching my videos are saying people are staring at you. I mean, even here in Germany, the Germans or the locals are staring at foreigners. If they're Arabic, if they are South American, South African, Germans stare at foreigners as well. In each and every country, locals are staring at foreigners. I think that's a common thing. Obviously, some stares are very uncomfortable, but if you think about that this way, you are traveling thousands of kilometers to see those people's country, to see their culture, to see those kind of people. That's much more weird than just them staring at you, because you are taking all the way up to travel to their country. So please don't judge people just because they are looking at you.